Okay, welcome back again. This is Dawn, and I want to go over the 4 cards that I made. They're very simple cards using the majority, 3 of them are using the same paper that we use to create our holiday trees. And you can use any holiday stamp set that you have. So the first card I created is using basic white, and it's thick basic white. It's 8.5 by 5.5, so 5.5, 8.5, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And then I cut a piece of cherry cobbler, and that's at 4 by 5 1/4. And all of these measurements will be on a sheet that you can download. And then I use the Silver Trees paper, and I cut this down to 3 3/4 by 5. And then I use the double oval punch to punch out my oval and circle, and then I stamp my sentiment. And this is from the retired, it's a retired set we had of small words. Okay, so just use whatever that you have on hand. So that's the first card. And then the second card, the same thing, basic white thick. Again, it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5. And then this one I use the dark gray with the snowflakes paper, Designer Series paper. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I used our layering stitched rectangles. Now this set comes from the Perfectly Plaid, which is found in our annual catalog. So I just found the rectangle that fit the sentiment, and then used the next one to cut out the shaded spruce. Now this is a tree from that same set. It's a 2-step stamp, and this is on cherry cobbler, and I did put a few little gold embellishments on there that we have, and I stamped it on a corner so I could place it on here like a diamond. And these are both popped up on dimensionals. And then this one is basic white, and this one's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and we scored this at 5.5. This one I used that wood grain silver paper. That is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut a square of shaded spruce, and then one in basic white, and I used basic gray ink. And what I did, and this stamp set is from the Mountain Air stamp set, and I stamped in basic gray, and I stamped this one. It's the tree that has one next to it. So I stamped this one in full strength, and then I stamped off and then stamped off. This one I pressed a little bit harder, and then I re-inked my stamp, and I stamped off on my paper, stamped here, and then stamped again to give it kind of the shaded look and trees in the background. And then I used the postage stamp that we have, and I used from the Snowflake Wishes this sentiment, and I cut that out punched that out using the postage punch, and then I just cut a square of cherry cobbler, which was a little bit bigger. I popped these up on dimensionals, and then I did use the holiday rhinestones that you can find in the annual catalog as well. So that's the third card. And then the last card are using the other part of the paper, beautiful paper that looks like the trees are silver and look like they have snow on them. This again is on a thick basic white at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Cut a piece of cherry cobbler at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut this one a little bit bigger. This is at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, just to give it a little bit of red border. And then I stamped the sentiment, which is from that Perfectly Plaid stamp set in cherry cobbler. I stamped it directly on the paper. And then I added a couple of the genial gems. I think these cards are so easy to make. Very easy. Whoever receives these is going to be very appreciative. You could put these together as a gift package, or use the ideas and change up what you want and use the paper. All right, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know. And if you don't mind, I would love to get an email with your take on what you thought about the card class, and how you enjoyed it or not. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out. If you need to purchase any of the supplies that I used, you can go to my website at shallwestamp.com, and then there's a purchase now button at the top of the page. All right, thank you again. I really appreciate your purchasing this set. I hope you enjoy putting these holiday decor items together. Again, thank you and have a great holiday.